Rob, what is our third main topic today?
Well, it comes from PJT. Hi, John and Rob. I don't know how to feel about this, but Hugh Jackman has uploaded to his Instagram stories a photo of him with Kevin Feige, along with a photo of Wolverine from Boss Logic. Do you think this is like a prelude to an official announcement of Hugh Jackman not only coming back to the role that made him his career, but also to being a part of the MCU? Okay. The answer to this question is no, and I'll tell you why. Who was it that produced X-Men, the first X-Men? It was Richard Donner, who gave who in the entertainment business, who gave Kevin Feige his first unpaid job and his first paid job in the film business. Richard Donner. I think that was a picture because Hugh Jackman and Kevin Feige have known each other for a very long time. If it wasn't for Richard Donner, remember, Lawrence Schuler Donner acquired the rights to X-Men. They were owned by the Donner Company, and there wouldn't be an X-Men movie if it wasn't for Richard Donner and Lawrence Schuler Donner, who executive produced the first X-Men while Kevin Feige was working on it. So I think that picture, along with Boss Logic's artwork, was a tribute to Richard Donner. And Screen Rant says, in Jackman's recent Instagram story, the actor seemingly teased that he may return as Wolverine. I didn't see it as that at all. 2 images involving Marvel appeared in his Instagram story, including a piece of fan art from Boss Logic and another of Jackman with Kevin Feige. Look, hey, I could be wrong. Anything's possible. But I think it was really a tribute to the character of Wolverine, who's endured now. People have loved Wolverine for now 21 years. The character of Wolverine that Hugh Jackman created is old enough to drink. And that was really a testament to Richard Donner and Lawrence Schuler Donner. And of course, Kevin Feige, who was part of Richard Donner's company. So I think that's what that was all about. But then again, John, if they announced that he was coming back as Wolverine tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised. Not in this day and age.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's what those posts were about at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of ways to look at this. First of all, I noticed there are some people screaming in the, like it means something, screaming in the chat board, but he posted these pictures before Donner died. No, he posted the pictures before the word officially came out to the public that Donner had died.
Yeah.
It is very possible, understanding the connection, especially Hugh Jackman has with Lawrence Schuler Donner, that Jackman and probably a number of people who might have personally known him knew before they made a public announcement.
He was very ill.
Yeah, and he was for a little bit. So yes, those of you who are yelling and screaming that that these posts were put up before Donner died, I would say yes, they were posted before it became public knowledge and they officially released the information that he had died. It is very possible, maybe even likely, that people like Hugh Jackman would have known before the public knew and put these images up. I will say there's 2 other angles to look at it here, though. Number one is that, look, on its surface, it certainly looks suspect. He posts a picture that Boss Logic does of the Wolverine claws and then very quickly posts a picture of him and Kevin Feige. Are you a monumental idiot for thinking this could possibly be Hugh Jackman hinting at his return as Wolverine? No, I don't think that's the dumbest thing in the world to assume. I really don't. I think it is actually, I'll go so far as to say, Rob, I think it is mildly reasonable for you to at least suspect that there could be something here of Jackman hinting at something. Not ironclad, but if you were one of those people who said, you know what, this is eyebrow raising, this could mean something, I don't think you're off in left field. I think that's reasonable. However, I would also caution everybody to remember this. Rob, do you remember before, it was in between Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2, Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, aside from their fake feud thing, which is one of the best things ever on the internet, but do you remember they posting like a lot of things? Like, remember there was that Hugh Jackman post he put up of him in his hotel room and he panned his camera around and there was Ryan Reynolds in his hotel bed dressed as Deadpool. And they did a whole bunch of posts, and a lot of people, me included, started saying, well, obviously Hugh Jackman is going to be in Deadpool 2. Obviously Hugh Jackman is going to make an appearance in Deadpool 2. It was obvious, wasn't it? Everybody wanted Hugh Jackman in Deadpool 2. They started putting out all these social media posts with them together, with Ryan Reynolds in the Deadpool costume. So it was obvious, right? Hugh Jackman was going to be in Deadpool 2. Well, guess what? He wasn't. We were all wrong. So now, here comes Hugh Jackman again, and he's putting up these pictures with a Wolverine claw and Kevin Feige. There's another important thing here, Rob, that nobody's talking about, and that is this. Hugh Jackman is almost 53 years old now.
Yeah.
Now, he is still in incredible shape, but one of the reasons he said he was very excited to move on from the Wolverine character was he was done with the 4-hour-a-day workouts. He was done. He was over it. He didn't want to do it anymore. He'd put in his time, and now he's 53. So to get back into that kind of shape, he can do it. I have no doubt that a Hugh Jackman can do it. I just doubt his desire to do it. I don't think he has any desire to go back to 4.5-hour workouts a day, getting on the phone with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and getting his, eat 4 pounds of raw chicken breast a day sort of diet. I don't think he wants to do it at all. So, Rob, I think there is definitely a possibility that you're right about this, that this was him posting an early tribute to the passing of Donner, as well as there is also the possibility there's just coincidence. It's also a possibility that, like the Deadpool 2 thing, he's just kind of messing with everybody.
Yeah.
But I am also not, and maybe, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, well, I'm an idiot. I do believe there is a chance. There is a possibility, however unlikely, that maybe, just maybe, this is Hugh Jackman hinting at something, but I just wouldn't put any money on it right now. And look, I'm certainly not saying, Rob, that at 53 Hugh Jackman can't do it, but that is something I think you need to consider. Rob, if I had to ask you to make an argument that this does mean this is Hugh Jackman hinting that he'd be coming back as Wolverine, what would you say is the strongest argument for that particular position on that?
That he's coming back? Well, I mean, I could see, look, the one thing I could, if I was in charge of the MCU and I was gonna bring in Wolverine to the MCU, obviously, the X-Men in the Fox universe, I mean, they dropped a stadium around the White House. So it couldn't be the Wolverine from that universe. He would have to be either an alternate universe version of the character or some such thing, because there's no way canonically the X-Men from the Fox universe can exist in the MCU. There's just no way. Not after destroying Egypt in Apocalypse. I mean, come on. I mean, it's not like, and it's not like mutants aren't very well known in like Dark Phoenix and all that. It's just you can't. However, I could see something like a la the way, and I hate to use this. I'm ashamed of myself. I'm about to say this, but the same way that J.J. Abrams used Leonard Nimoy as Spock in his line versions, that with alternate universes and the multiverse, Wolverine, the Hugh Jackman Wolverine, older statesman like Wolverine, might come into the MCU saying, "Look, I'm from an alternate universe, and I know what's up with the X-Men, and I'm here to help."
By the
something
way,
like that.
There is another angle to this that we haven't been talking about, and Chris Mitch in the live chat brought it up, and I'm glad that he did, which is, there's also a possibility that maybe Hugh Jackman is coming to the MCU, but not as Wolverine. That's a total possibility. That's something that's on the possibility stage. I mean, look at Chris Evans. He played another Marvel character in another studio's version of the Fantastic Four, and yet he's in the MCU as Captain America. There is nothing to say that couldn't happen as well. Again, though, I personally think the most likely scenario here, Rob, is the one that you painted perfectly. This was Hugh Jackman kind of putting out a tribute to the passing of Donner before it became public knowledge. Of course, him and Kevin Feige both worked for Donner at different points. Him and Kevin Feige, to a degree, both owe Donner kind of the careers that they've had. And so that would make the most sense. Again, I'm still saying it's not impossible. It could be him hinting at being in Wolverine. But again, I go back to the Deadpool 2 situation that he seemed to heavily hint that he was going to be in that. And of course he wasn't. Add on top of that, now he's 53. I don't think he has any desire to get in that kind of shape again. Maybe he's coming to the MCU as a different character. There are a lot of things on the table and a lot of possibilities. The question is for you guys, and I'm sure we'll talk about this a lot more over the coming weeks. What do you think is the most likely scenario here? Was this just Hugh Jackman posting a fitting and touching tribute about him and another big guy in the entertainment industry who both owe their careers to Donner and putting that up? Do you think maybe it means something else? Were you fooled by the Deadpool 2 stuff just like I was fooled? I don't know. What do you guys think this is getting at? Jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Okay, guys.